understanding. I would like to open new filing. DEP file number SC 66-2034, Stephen and Lisa Lee Buckland, care of Environmental Consulting and Restoration LLC, has filed a notice of intent for a demo rebuild of a single-family dwelling at 90 Town Neck Road, Sandwich, Mass., located at map 93, parcel 20-0.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
All right, good evening, Commission. It's Cameron Larson with Environmental Consulting and Restoration, here tonight representing the applicant to present to you the notice of intent for 90 Town Neck Road. So it's a small residential lot. There's an existing home on site, paved driveway. There's a small shed to the rear, and then the rest of the lot is completely developed and occupied by lawn and landscaped areas. ECR completed a wetland delineation of the site. The entire site is located within land subject to coastal storm flowage. And the nearest wetland with an associated buffer zone is a coastal dune that exists on the other side of Town Neck Road. So we delineated that, shown in blue on the plan, with the 50 and 100-foot buffers shown accordingly. You'll see the 100-foot buffer just kind of barely encroaches onto the northern portion of the site there. The existing home's entirely outside of that buffer, as well as the proposed home that we'll be discussing in just a moment. With that said, though, the proposed work is within land subject to coastal storm flowage. So we're in front of the Commission tonight, seeking your approval for the raise and rebuild of a new home at the site. The existing home's about 1,100 square foot footprint. That is being increased slightly to about 1,600 square feet. It includes a deck and porch on the front. The existing driveway will be remain and utilized in the same location. We are proposing some infiltration drains to collect the stormwater from the gutters of the new home. And then erosion controls will be installed and maintained throughout the duration of the project. Following completion of the project, it will all be restored as lawn and landscaped areas. Any landscape material will be native on site. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions that the Commission may have.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up to staff comments.
So the staff comments that I had originally were lack of erosion control and rooftop filtration, but with the revised plan that you've submitted, that's been addressed. So I don't have any other issues with the plan itself. It seems to be pretty standard for that neighborhood. So there's the erosion control detail. You've got the rooftop filtration on there. So I think I'm good.
Closing staff comment, opening up to the board to deliberate. Any concerns?
Am I missing the limit of work? Did I see the limit of work on there?
It basically is the erosion control line.
Okay.
You know,
Same as.
I don't really have a lot. I mean, this is land subject to coastal flowage, so the only thing is, we're making sure they've handled their drains, they've handled their roof water. The drive is existing asphalt, so if it were a new drive being proposed, I might want to see it as gravel, but it is an existing drive, so I think everything here seems reasonable to me.
Isn't the proposed dwelling though going over the existing paved driveway?
Yes, a portion of it, right.
But the existing is staying. It's not being removed during construction.
Yep, correct. Well, they'll remove,
Besides what the building's going on.
Right, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
We can't require
Yeah.
we can't require it, but it'd be nice. But and you put all the landscaping back. Okay, yeah. It's a minimal jurisdictional property, so.
Yeah, I think we're
good to vote.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yep.
All right, someone want to take a motion?
I'll do it.
Oh,
Nope. What?
I'd like to
Public
open it
comment?
to public comment.
Thank you.
I'd like to close public comment, and then someone want to do a motion.
Sure. I'll make a motion to close and approve DEP file number SC 66-2034 for 90 Town Neck Road in Sandwich, located at map 93, parcel 20-0. With special and standard conditions as discussed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moved.
Thank you very much, Commission. Have a good night.
All right, I'd like to open DEP, new filing, DEP file number SE 66. Dash XXXX.
They don't have a
Jean
phone.
and
They don't have a
Green
phone number.
Carrier Gilmet, care of AM Wilson Associates Incorporated, has filed a notice of intent to authorize and maintain creek access site structures, landscaping, and vista pruning at 41 Torrey Road, Sandwich, Mass., located at map 63, parcel 31. Hi.
Good evening. Arlene Wilson, AM Wilson Associates, here for the applicants. We actually do have a file number for this. It's 662035. So this is a 2-acre piece of property on the north side of Torrey Road, apparently first developed in 1993-94. In about 2002, the original house was knocked down, and the house that's here now was built together with the pool and the pool fence and the driveway and all of the other built features of the lot. At that time, the permitting was limited to an RDA. People were more concerned about the coastal bank, I guess, at that point. It is unclear to me, although it looks from inspection, that the bank access stairs that are in the northeast corner and the out-haul post, it's not an out-haul post, a tie-up post that's in the marsh on the opposite side of the lot, apparently existed at that time. There's no history of permitting for those things, nor for the mode path that runs down to the stairs. I believe that in 2002, and certainly before that, the street drain, which is at the head of what is now an intermittent stream with a BVW edge, probably was a channel that was mostly dry, but as the development has proceeded and more land in the area has gotten converted to lawn and building and driveway, and our storm regime has increased, the amount of water that's handled in that area has also increased, both in quantity and frequency, and it's developed BVW edge. So now the house and the driveway and the pool are all within the buffer to that wetland feature, as well as being predominantly within the buffer to the coastal bank, which everybody recognized before. So what we're requesting is that we be able to maintain in place and in kind those constructed features of the site which have occurred or been present for a long time and likely prior to the BVW along the intermittent stream. In addition to that, we've got a couple of landscape type projects that are going on here. Your prior agent had discovered that the area in yellow, which is between the pool fence and the top of the coastal bank, had been mowed intermittently. Again, that never shows up on any request or permit. Josh requested that we file a notice of intent, and although it's taken a long time because our surveyors are all backed up to it fairly well, here we are. So what we're requesting in terms of the meadow maintenance is to be able to mow that area that's shown in yellow once a year, sometime mid-June to mid-July. The purpose of waiting that long to mow is so that any ground nesting birds that are using the area will have fledged before the mowing takes place, and to do it early enough in the season that the herbaceous plant materials will reestablish with whatever is flowering in the fall to be flowering at that point in time for the applicant's bees, because he has a couple of bee keeps down adjacent to the top of the bank, and so that there'll be enough vegetative cover in the spring for the ground nesting birds for the next season. He's also requesting that the 3 large oak trees that are on the site below the house, and they're shown on the plan, that he be able to prune those from time to time. They often take a beating in storms and wind up with dead material. That we would assume would be in coordination with your agent. If he thought it was necessary at any time, he'd call the office, consult with the agent, make sure that what he was doing was reasonable in terms of what was necessary, and that the woody shrubs that grow on the bank, that he be allowed to maintain those at 5 or 6 feet at the top of the bank. So the material lower on the bank would grow taller than what was closer to the meadow area, so that he can maintain his view, among other things. But if he keeps them at that kind of a state of maturity, they'll still provide habitat and cover and forage. And that probably only has to get done every couple of years in order to make that work. Not to give them a haircut, but rather to make them undulate and do the cutting and pruning in response to the natural growth habitat of the materials that are there. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I'd just like to open it up to staff comments.
So I know we had a couple comments regarding Appendix G and the coastal bank delineation that has since been revised. I did update the file accordingly, but I had some questions regarding the mowing of the meadow. Other than aesthetics, or however, why does your applicant or client want to mow it consistently? And the reason I'm asking is my background is in songbird rehabilitation and fledglings, and based on Mass Audubon, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and a couple other state organizations, that is not an ideal time to do any type of grassland habitat maintenance. They prefer that it should be done early May or late August, and they should not be disturbed between April and August. Just different species fledge at different times. So just because everything seems to be going crazy during the springtime, those birds are still relying on that habitat throughout their fledging until they migrate. So, I mean, if we could avoid mowing it, I understand that might be a big ask, but if we can't, you doing that with Audubon's best management practices, I think would be great, in my opinion.
Mr. Carrier
Yeah.
clearly raises bees. He actually sells the honey at farmers markets.
I saw them. I did a site visit and saw them hanging out there.
And so having both the spring flowers and the fall flowers
Okay.
are optimal for the bees.
Okay.
However, if you wanted to put the mowing off until August, I suppose that
Okay.
might still allow for asters and things that are very late growing to
Okay.
probably not to mow it in May, however, because that would get rid of the spring flowers that he needs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was just the best management practices that I researched from the state.
Yep.
I understand that might not be law, but, you know, just to take into consideration those songbirds that rely on the habitat. And that's something we could, you know, outline in the permit, depending on where things go, so. But everything else you had already addressed. We got proof of mailing. We saw the revised plans with the coastal bank figures. Appendix G was submitted. I understand you're not asking to certify the BVW line, but the Appendix G was still helpful in seeing that BVW data. So my only concern was the songbirds in the meadow. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up to the board. Do we have any concerns? Questions?
Although, in general, I have some hesitation, I would say, because we have a large swath of naturalized area that is being requested to be mowed down for once a year. Now, the assumption at this point by the applicant is that it is meadow. Has the meadow been created over time or forced with the mowing that has suppressed other shrubs that would have naturally been occurring in this area? Now, I see that you have a list of species observed, which include a lot of other shrubs types that you wouldn't want to be mowing yearly. So that's my struggle, is that I wouldn't naturally think that we would want to just let people start mowing their naturalized buffer areas as, or, you know, to.
Does it help promote any more growth?
It could be a one-time, so when you're doing like a restoration, like, so what starts happening is that there's more nitrogen in the air, and there's more nitrogen coming off the lawn, and there starts to be invasives in these spaces, right? And so sometimes projects get into it where they need to come in and manage the invasives, and they can do that by doing some mowing to suppress. They can do it with some coppicing, but it's not, you know, to do mowing yearly. I haven't seen that as a standard practice or best management practices. I mean, we're talking about trying to protect a resource, and by protecting that, we're trying to protect the bank, and all of the root system that we have in this zone is, you know, helping prevent any erosion and degradation. So I don't know. I wonder if we could figure out another way to get what the applicant wants to do with just not saying, like, let's just go and mow the whole area.
If I might. So the observed shrub species, this is going to be a problem probably, are mostly things that were observed on the bank and in the edges of the intermittent stream. This is an area that historically was farmed. And when I say historically, I mean late 1700s, early 1800s, and through the mid-1800s. As farming became less attractive in the area and people were starting to develop residential communities, a lot of the farms got abandoned. Most of this area was not cropland, it was animals. So sheep were the common animal that was raised here, and they kept the vegetation down. Certainly shrubs came back in the time between the abandonment of the farms and residential development. But the meadow complex is not a brand new habitat to bring in here. And one of the things that's happened on the Cape in particular, and in many of the South Shore communities, is that we've lost an enormous amount of our meadow habitat, and consequently the birds and small animals that depend on that habitat have moved elsewhere. So maintaining some meadow habitat can be important to diversity issues. And this is the kind of thing, you probably don't want to hear what other commissions do, but in Barnstable, they have seen favorably to installing meadows essentially as part of their buffer in order to bring back that kind of habitat. So here, because of the pollinators, in addition to the habitat issues, we would like to be able to keep the woody vegetation in there down, because we won't be mowing really, really short.
Right, I think that's a big thing, that the height is gonna stay above 12 inches.
Yeah.
I find that a lot more favorable than going like 3 inches, like a lawn or something, so.
So everything you said about grasslands, 100% I agree. And if this project were coming across to us and you were looking to mitigate an existing lawn area and turn it into grassland area, I think that we would enjoy that. What I'm looking at on the GIS is a photograph from 2013 that is not representing in the aerial a meadow area. I can see that there are shrubs potentially in here, much more green, fluffy things are happening than what I'm seeing in a true meadow area. You know, my position after looking at this aerial is that this applicant has been creating their meadow destiny, so to speak, and creating a favorable view at the same time, which isn't in compliance with any of the regulations. You know, you're not allowed to go in there and maintain that as an ornamental area and for the benefit alone of a view. So that's where I kind of come to this place of, you know, feeling like there were shrubs in here. What I'm wondering, if anybody would be up for it, is if we could schedule a site visit to see what's growing there, what's trying to grow there, and come up with like a good assessment of what we think could be a good compromise for what you're trying to accomplish here.
I
Do you think that's good?
I appreciate what he's trying to do. I appreciate the bees and the encouragement of the wildlife, but
And you need to keep down the invasives, you know, and the mowing definitely keeps down the invasives. But we don't want to abnormally suppress like other great things that are
Right.
trying to happen in there as well.
Would that be something that the client would let us schedule a site visit to go check out?
Of course.
Okay.
And that's something, sorry to interrupt, but we should, if we're going to do a site visit, it should be scheduled now.
Yeah,
right now,
that's what I was
right.
thinking. yeah.
That's right.
Let's schedule it.
Let's do it. What do we think, next week or the week after?
Next week I'm away just for the holiday, so
Oh, yeah, that's true.
the week,
Yeah,
the after that, or I
First week
can,
of December. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we do this, do you guys want to do Saturday? We do like for Sunday, weekend, or do you want to stick with the alternate Wednesdays?
I can do the Saturday the 7th if anyone.
Yeah, I can do that.
It's not going to be that.
sure,
Okay, Saturday,
And
7th.
the 7th, what time? 10?
10?
10.
I was gonna say
That is
10, so
after the
10.
next meeting.
Okay,
Next
so,
meeting is on 12/4.
That's all right.
That's okay, you want to bump it to 12/18?
And then we'll, we can just move.
So you're at 12/18.
You guys do
Thank
okay.
you, Arlene. Appreciate that.
Thank you. 12:07, 10 a.m. Okay, perfect. So we'll just do a motion we'll move this to 12:18 and we'll visit on 12/7 at 10 a.m. All right, so we want to do a motion.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Motion? Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to open it to public comment. I'd like to close public comment. This got me all messed up. Changing it up. All right.
New instructions.
Yeah, I gotta, All right, I'll take a motion.
I can make a motion to continue DEP file number SC66-2035, Jean and Corinne Carey, Delamette, care of AM Wilson Associates, Inc., which filed a notice of intent to authorize and maintain creek access, site structures, landscaping, and vista pruning at 41 Torrey Road, Sandwich, Mass., located at map 63, parcel 31, to the December 18th meeting, December 18, 2024 meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just so you don't have to find out all the steps in the motion. You don't have to say it once. So you don't have to go, who filed a blah, 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 blah. All you have to do is say the number and then the address. Then you're done.
The number, address? No, the applicant.
We don't need the parcel.
No. Because it's all, Who knew?
Changing it up. All right, continued filings. Opening up DEP file number SC66-2032, Emmett O'Rafferty, care of Down Cape Engineering, filed a notice of intent for a demo rebuild of a single-family home at 365 Phillips Road, Sandwich, Mass., located at map 95, parcel 49.
Good evening. For the record, Dan Ojala, I'm a land surveyor and also a civil engineer with Down Cape Engineering in Yarmouthport. Rick Anderson, who is the builder, a longtime builder in Sandwich, is here. We're both helping out Emmett O'Rafferty, who is across the pond right now in Ireland. But this is a pretty straightforward rebuild. I think we had hit most of the highlights at the last meeting. We continued to straighten out one kind of quirk on it. The independent environmental had called the whole site a coastal dune and then proceeded to delineate a little area around the house that was the edge of the dune. So I went out there and did a couple of corings to check, and there was some bony material here and there, but it's very hard to tell whether that was part of the original construction or dune. Most of it's sand, so in working with Jenna, we both felt it was better just to concede that the whole site was a coastal dune. This isn't particularly mapped as a barrier beach down this far, but we'll concede that's a barrier beach as well. The main thing here is that we were going to be up on open piles, getting that house well up above the V zone. And then we also looked for some mitigation. We noticed the neighbor's lawn to the south cut over a little bit, so that gave us a chance to revegetate that area. And the good news is where we're increasing 676 on the square footage of footprint, the impervious is going down because we're getting rid of all that paved driveway. And then the other thing is the amount of mitigation and restoration is the 1219 square foot. So we're right in line with what you guys like to see in these areas. It's a nice improvement getting that building up high above the coastal V zone and washed stone underneath, as we had mentioned, and not touching the grades. There's a little bit of a bump of a dune in the northeast corner that can stay. We'll be well above that. So I think we've hit all the items that you had requested last time. We got the revised plans in a timely manner. There is one abutter, the gentleman from over here was in the audience. We spoke to him earlier, so don't forget to ask for public comment just in case he wants to speak. But I think he's in good order, but would certainly be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up to staff comments.
My staff comments were addressed. We talked about the coastal dune delineation and whether or not to call the whole thing a dune or not. And then I know you addressed the restoration plantings because there was some inconsistency with the square footage. That has been consistently, I believe now is 1,219 square feet of coastal dune replication and plantings. So I think we're good as far as those comments being addressed.
Thank you. Opening up to the board for deliberation.
I would definitely want to see this 1219 square foot. That should be in the special, and make sure that that's in there. Standard special conditions, like we should have that. Make sure that stays. But other than that, I think that the applicant has complied pretty substantially with what we've requested. I'm comfortable with
Bernice,
it.
did you like the plantings?
Yeah, I think the
Any need for
plantings
that stuff.
are sufficient from last time. Will you have any seated areas? Are you any disturbed area? What's the game plan for any of your disturbed areas?
Right,
for
so-
construction.
Yeah, no loam and seed whatsoever. It's a very hostile environment for any kind of regular plants. It's a, you know, the sand blows through and so forth. So we'll just go with the American beach grass and just leave it natural around the edges, and it'll infill. But most of the areas are combed with American beach grass. So we feel it'll look very much like it does now, just an edge with a natural all around it.
So perhaps we can create a special condition that says that the applicant will replace any bare areas or within the construction site with American beach grass, because there is a possibility that during construction, you're gonna need access and you're going to need to get this thing built.
Yeah.
And so there may be areas that need to be revegetated that are not shown on the plan.
Fair point. And where it's a delicate beach grass, that would be fine.
Okay.
We can restore it
Okay.
as needed, sure.
All right, so that'll be one of the conditions to restore the beach grass. There'll be no irrigation allowed, no use of chemical fertilizers ever. Any other,
Goes in perpetuity. Live run with the land.
Okay.
any other conditions that we want to think about?
What's the ratio for the proposed mitigation as to what's being taken out? Is it 2 to 1?
Yeah, it's generally, it's very, very close. I think it's within, yeah, it's 600 to 1,200, so round figures.
You guys are right in between 2 other lots, so you don't have much, right? Is this-
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty compact footprint. It's a little bit, compressed from where it is now. We're pulling the deck back and restoring it. We are introducing a subsurface drainage for the roof, so that'll be an improvement. And it's all washed stone under, so it's pretty compact, and virtually everything else around it will be natural.
All right, I'd like to open it up to public comment. All right, I'd like to close public comment. Back to the board. Does anyone want to make a motion to?
Make a motion to close and approve, let's see, DEP file number SE 662032 for 365 Phillips Road with special conditions, special standard conditions as discussed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ooh. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much for your time and consideration. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Did Mike come in?
Yes, we've got one right here.
So I'd like to, do you want me to open it, or do you want me to just continue it, read the letter, and then someone can second it?
Review the letter first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Oh, I'm sorry, open it.
open
read
it,
the-
right,
yes.
exactly. So I'd like to open DEP file number SE 66-2023, Marion Sullivan, care of Marsh Matters Environmental, has filed a notice of intent for construction of a garage with a 2-story apartment and replacement of a septic tank at 148 Route 6A, Sandwich, Mass., located at map 73, parcel 76-0. Mike has sent an email to continue. Jenna and Alex, we have authorization from the applicant. I'm sorry. Hi, Michelle, Jenna, and Alex. On behalf of the applicant, Marion Sullivan, requests a hearing continuance to the next available. The revised project site plan was not ready for submittal by deadline last week, the 30th. Am I reading the right one? This is November 6th.
And what's this one? This one's November 20th.
20th, there we go. Okay, sorry. Jen and Alex, we have authorization from the applicant property owner to make adjustments to the project plan in order to address the commission member comments specific to reducing paved area further around new building, chairman's comments, and adding woody vegetation to compensate for the loss of tree biomass resulting from limb removals, Commissioner Whaley's comments. The plan was just finalized, stamped by the PE and PLS, and submitted to your office by the deadline a week ago. The plan will be submitted. So the plan will be submitted next Wednesday, 1 week prior to the December 4th meeting, but probably by the end of the week. So on behalf of the applicant, I'd like to request, am I reading the wrong one? because this one's to December 4th. Oh, yeah, we were right. Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah, that's
request
right,
continuance
yeah.
to the December 4th hearing. I'm hopeful the commissioners are amendable to this request. Thank you, Mike. And that is from Michael Ball of Matters Environmental. Who wants to make a motion to continue?
I can move to continue DEP file number SE66-2023, Mary Ann Sullivan, care of Marsh Matters Environmental at 148 Route 6A, Sandwich, Mass. To the December 4th meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so for the certificates of compliance, are there any ones that not compliant?
So we have a couple. There's 64A Salt Marsh
3 for.
Road, right?
Yep.
And then there's a duplicate original that needs to be signed for 17 Juniper. 17 Juniper was issued
Yeah.
in like 93.
Okay.
So that, that
That's
had
good.
already been issued. They just needed a re-signature sheet to get it registered.
Okay.
And then the other ones, Salt Marsh Road, those were all in compliance with their orders of conditions and matched the as-built. So I didn't have any issues with any of the COCs.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to,
Sorry.
You have questions? Yeah.
yeah.
I was going through and they had the maps were wrong or something had happened, like the filing was wrong. Like I looked at the thing and
For Juniper?
No, for 64A.
There was some confusion with the applicant and the original order of conditions. I don't know if something was subdivided, so the addresses
Yes.
got moved around,
Right.
but the requests for what they've sent in now match the information that
They do.
was given. So they all have file numbers in accordance with, and I went to the property, and the property is in compliance.
Oh, okay,
So.
okay, because it
Yeah.
just said that.
It's a little bit hectic, and the older ones didn't require an as-built, where the newer one did, so
Okay.
that the newer filing, I think it was, yeah, that one had an as-built that matched what was on the ground.
Right,
And then
that's
the
right.
older ones didn't have an as-built.
Right.
Because they were,
But then they were saying that they crossed the property line, like at one point.
Yeah.
So it was just like was
it
that
was a
all
little
resolved?
hairy, but I think
Okay.
it might be better to issue complete certificates and just, yeah, because everything, I mean, what's on the ground now matches is in compliance with that
Alright.
most recent order, so.
Okay.
That's kind of how I went with it, but yeah, no, it was definitely confusing.
Yeah. What happened there? Okay, all right, that's fine.
Sorry, I know we went a little out of order there, so however you want to.
No worries.
No, I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for duplicate original request. Original filing is DEP file number SE66-410. Vincent Corsini Jr. has filed a notice of intent to construct a 40 by 50 barn at Assessor's Map 26, Parcel 14, located at 17 Juniper Hill Road, Sandwich, Mass.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for original filing, DEP file number SE66-334. Joseph T. Batista filed a notice of intent to construct an addition and relocate a utility building at Assessor's Map 85, Parcel 26, located at 64A Salt Marsh Road, Sandwich, Mass.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Moved. I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for original filing DEP file number SE66-431. John J. O'Callahan has filed an abbreviated notice of intent to replace wooden stairs and supports at Assessor's Map 85, Parcel 26, located at 64A Salt Marsh Road, Sandwich, Mass.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for original file DEP file number SE66-1695. Dr. Jane A. Petrozzoni has filed a notice of intent to construct an addition and a shed located at Assessor's Map 85, Parcel 26, located at 64A Salt Marsh Road, Sandwich, Mass.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Was there a site, okay, moving to other business, was there a site visit we had to do here? Did we do one out of, was there,
It was for the Roos Road, I
it
think.
was Roos Road, we had to do that right now, right?
No, we're
Twelve
gonna do that
four.
on 12/4.
Because
Okay.
it got continued to 12/4, so that's
So
when.
we'll do it on 12/4, and then we'll be good. Okay. We can't do it now because the
They're not
applicants.
here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other business for other business?
The meeting calendar.
And the minutes, or just the meeting
Yeah.
notice.
Anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
That was good for everybody.
Those were good.
And also the July 3rd meeting.
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Good with that?
Yep.
Can you do a motion?
Didn't see the July 3rd.
And there's also December 24th.
Yes.
Did you say December?
Yeah.
From last?
From last year?
So we're approving minutes from last year?
No, approving the calendar for the.
Oh, yeah, that's fine, the calendar's
Okay.
fine, yeah.
Oh, the calendar's good. Do we want to do that right now?
The calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were approving the minutes.
I know, I was like, oh no. I thought you were doing other business.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
And that's
No,
the-
we were, but hold on, wait, all right, let's do this, and then, did you just say minutes from December 24?
No, she was talking about the.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what
I was
thought too.
like,
Meeting.
That's
I
what I
was
thought
like,
too,
I
yeah.
wasn't here
I was
in
like,
December of 24.
That's right. So she just, they just
3
want.
out of 4.
Yeah, the
They
big
want
ones I
approval for the-
pointed out were July 3rd.
Yep.
Day before 4th of July.
I see what you're saying.
And
Okay.
Christmas
Okay.
Eve,
I'm
which
sorry.
is the December 24th.
Okay.
So I'm trying to look out for you
I'm with
guys.
you.
I got you.
I see it, okay. So, do we want to do July 3rd, or do we want to, or,
Because this year you skipped a July meeting.
That's right,
I
we
believe.
Yeah.
So I will be gone if we have enough people to make up for that. That would be
the,
fine. I'm gone for the, no, that's the filing. So the July 15th, that's fine. No, that's fine. Let's see.
Yeah, so we have to be here July 2nd,
July 2nd, right?
yeah, and then,
Wait,
I was looking at the wrong.
yeah, your third column. Third column.
This one.
Yeah. So that's the
July
date.
2nd.
oh,
Yeah.
July 4th. Oh, July.
Erasmus 25.
I'm around here, and I'll probably just wear my red, white, and blue gear, so that'll be fine.
All right, so I'm okay with that too.
Why isn't there a December one?
And the December, there's no December one, which is fine, because
There is no December?
Ooh, yeah, it skipped.
completely the whole month.
I think that's a clerical.
Oh, do you? Okay. Do you want to revise it and come back?
What does it have down here?
That's what she's talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Skip, okay.
Sorry.
It went from November to January. Yeah, there should
It
be
was just
one, there should be
autofill on
something in.
Excel.
Yeah, that's right. There should be
Should
something
I say
in
December?
Yeah.
Should I say December 17th?
Because the dates are correct if you go back to the first column.
Right.
It
So I
just,
think that
it was
should
that
probably
autofill.
be December instead of February.
Yeah, there's some clerical errors on here, so we'll have to.
Do you want to revise it and we'll just continue to the
Absolutely.
next meeting? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Start
Okay.
at 6 though, so
Do
that's
we need
nice.
a motion for that?
No, that's,
Other business, yeah.
And then the minutes. For
all right,
11.
perfect. All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes for that. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for 11/6/2024. All in favor?
Hi.
All good? I'd like to make a motion to close the November 20th, 2024 Sandwich Conservation Commission at 7:15 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, move.
Please let Michelle know, if you guys, how